What up, y'all? So, I am back at it with Hearthstone standard decks. This time, I'm going to be playing Mike Tithon's favorite deck, Merithra Druid. If you don't get the joke, don't worry about it. Merithra seems awesome. So, Merithra of the Dream, pretty simple card. It's based on this idea where you spend mana while you're holding a card, and then it gives you a bigger benefit. So, there's this card, and then there's also Broodwatcher. Really great card, as well as Felwood Treant. So those three cards are using that same type of ability where you spend mana while it's in your hand and you get a much better effect from the card. One of my favorite things, actually probably my actually favorite thing about this deck is playing Broodwatcher on curve. So if you play a 1-drop and then a 2-drop, and then on turn 3 you play Broodmother, so that's 6 mana. Broodmother gives you 2 more that turn, 8 mana spent on turn 3. Then on turn 4, assuming you were holding Broodwatcher the entire time, you can play this and for 4 mana get 10 attack worth of minions. Really, really crazy when it happens. It's a lot of value, very strong. A little bit difficult, obviously. There is, it's not always going to happen. However, it happens often enough that it is really, really, in my opinion, the best start with this deck. There are a couple of other powerful starts that involve Felwood, Acceleration Aura, Innervates, things like that. Horn of Plenty, phenomenal card. Just very good at, card advantage and mana advantage in the early stages of the game, and then you just try and take that into solid cards like Elise, Nightmare Lord for something good. Amirdrassil has some really good card advantage as it progresses, and then things like Wickerfang, Underking, Merithra, like I mentioned, and then there's just cool things like you can go Naralex into Fyrakk. Seems solid. We've also got Ysera, and then this guy is surprisingly good. I've seen versions of this deck that play 2 of this guy. I'm not completely sure that's the right way to go, but I have been blown out because my opponent used 1 of the Twilight Timereavers, and I'm like, okay, I'm safe. And so I play accordingly, and then they just blew me out with the second one. So it might be that 2 is the correct answer, but in this list, I like 1. I think it's the perfect balance with this list. But if the metagame shifts to a place where you need 2 of them, it's definitely worth considering. So this deck is mostly just value, card advantage, and trying to get to a place where your opponent just can't keep up with what you're doing. A lot of times that involves Wickerfang, Naralex into a dragon, Shaladrassil, something like that. So lots of strong cards, lots of cool and interesting interactions. So let's get some games in and see how well it does.
Hazelbark versus Megatork.
And glory!
Here for a lesson?
I think this is the way to go. I'm still not, I will be transparent, I'm still not 100% on some of these mulligans, especially depending on the matchups, but Waveshaping, good keep. Press the Advantage, great card to have. Shaladrassil, I'm never happy to see this card until like turn 12. Okay, so as suspected, this seems like some kind of Bubble Paladin probably, or Aura, some variation as such. I think just to... yeah, I think Press the Advantage is the way to go here. Gotta make sure this thing doesn't get much bigger. And if they've got past No Moragan and they're gonna end up hitting me for 4 on turn 2, then so be it. But at the very least, that means that I'm not gonna have to worry about a bigger well-played or... yeah, that's fine. So I'm taking 4. Cool. Would have been 2, but I hate having to worry about like a 7/7 whelp off of that thing. It's just insane. When in doubt, Acceleration Aura. Okay, so from here... this is where things get really interesting, because Waveshaping can give us a variety of different directions we can go. I tried to play cards like Waveshaping with some intention. It's like, okay, what's the best outcome here for me? You know, what am I hoping for? Like, you know, kind of playing to your outs type of thinking. I generally like to play Horn of Plenty sooner than later because it's so powerful. The earlier you do it, you know, the better. Yeah, I think Horn is the way to go. Into another... Wow. So this is actually not bad at all. I think that's the way to go. So if I play the other Acceleration Aura, next turn I'll have 7 mana. Yeah, I think I just go for this. I could smack this guy. Let's see, next turn on 4 or 5. Yeah, next turn I think just playing this is great. I'm gonna take some damage, but I think it's okay.
Reporting for duty.
I think bouncing this guy is probably best, because that spares me the death rattle. It's not the biggest minion, obviously, but it does have some significant effect here. Alright, so then we dream. Yeah, I think we just dream. And as much as it sucks, I may just have to. Ysera Awakens next turn. Let's see, we'll have 7 mana.
I am tired.
Ooh, okay, that's very bad. That actually makes this a lot worse. I mean, yeah, most of the time when your opponent plays Nosdormu, it's basically over. Let's see if something can change. So the 2 that I don't pick go on the bottom of my deck. So sadly,
What was I thinking of again?
It's seeming like I'll probably have to ebb this and like... But the problem is I'm still just dead if I awakens and I don't clear the board. So I think we have to try this. Yeah, I guess we're just stuck. Because Timereaver's cool and all, but that wouldn't actually save me here. Yeah, I don't think there's a way I can actually get out of this. Yeah, that's the way it goes. I mean, they don't have actual lethal on board, I don't think. That's what, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 with this. But yeah, that's going to pump, yeah. That is fair. Alright, yeah, I think we're just done here. I'm a big proponent of playing things out, but once you drop Nosdormu, things are basically over. If you don't have an answer immediately, if you can't just clear the board with something like, you know, Twisting Nether or whatever, then it's craziness. So yeah, 0-1, not a great start, but Bubble Paladin is a big force in this metagame, so it is what it is. Let's see what else we can do.
Hazelbark versus Deathwing.
Alright, we're getting a good mix of solid heroes. Warrior is very good right now. There are quite a lot of reasonable archetypes in Warrior, and oh, I can't remember. I'm going to butcher the name of this, but Blazing somebody, whatever the new card is that they just put out in the rewards. It's like 3 mana, I think it's a 3/3, and if you played a fire spell this turn, its battle cry is just destroy a minion. Yeah, because Warrior needed more tools. Between that and Torch, are you kidding me? But anyways, Warrior, very good. I kind of like keeping both of these. I think Elise is decent value, but I'm not exactly sure if that's the right call against Warrior right now. There are definitely better things than Elise in some of these situations. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a try with just the Felwood guy. Okay. I always love to see Dragon Broodmother, or excuse me, Darkscale Broodmother. One of my favorite dragons that is out right now. Ooh, and we've got Broodwatcher. That's nice. Sadly, no one drop, and this guy is not going to give us the permanent bump we were looking for. Alright, Dragon Warrior it is. I haven't seen a lot of Dragon Warrior lately, but I am very down with that. Sure. Perfect time for press the advantage. Ooh, very good draw. Okay. Alright, so that's 2 mana down, 6 to go. Cool thing about this guy and Broodmother is I can Broodmother now into this guy and then do other things, which seems fantastic. So we do this, we get 2 more mana. This guy's going to give us 1 more mana. And then I just got to spend 1 more, so now I go Acceleration Aura off of this. This seems nuts. This is actually a really good draw here. So now this is going to come out on turn 4. And I'm 1 mana ahead, 2 mana ahead with Acceleration Aura. Wow. This is what I'm talking about. This is how this deck really runs. And another Broodmother. Very nice. Well, let's just get that value. Dat value. Do this, and we'll just throw this here. That's fine. Sure. It's arguable maybe I should have attacked their minion and then played the Broodwatcher, but I don't know. Could have gone a couple of different ways there. Ooh, okay. They're doing some serious work over there. Very good draw for them, too. Sheesh. Okay, okay. All right. Crazy, crazy. So. Definitely not worth throwing this guy out there. There are much better things that we got to worry about for this. However, yeah, unfortunately, we're kind of relying on our top decks now. Very likely I'm going to trade this here. They are at 20, though. I can throw them down to 14, 13 with my hero power and throw more minions on the board. Only problem is next turn is turn 5. This is a dragon, so I do have to worry about Windpeak Worm on curve. I think I go for this, though. I think we're just going to be aggressive. And let's see if this can force them into a position where they have to start attacking my minions. If they have the Windpeak and some good attacks, this could help reverse the momentum for them, but it doesn't look like they have it, so. Okay, getting those Dark Gift minions. That could be problematic next turn, but we'll see what they get. There's always a chance that they whiff. Yeah, you know you're doing well when the Dragon Warrior player has to armor up.
sorry, dearie. I can't.
I remember this place well.
So I'm trying to figure out which location I want the most. I think Terra is reasonable. Next turn, am I going to have... No, next turn I will have 9 mana, so I can't Fire Plume Ridge, but Fire Plume could be a lot of value. It would be amazing if I could get this Terra Run out this turn, but that's just unfortunately not in the cards. I am a little tempted to Ungoro Jungle, but I don't know that that's the right call. Maybe Terra Run is the right call here. But I think I'm just going to Fire Plume because I think that's going to give me the most value possible. Yeah, Fire Plume was yelling at me. It's a little tough not to take that value when you're close enough to it. And I do have the Timereaver to be able to hold off another turn if they do anything super crazy. I can just put everything to 1 attack. Okay, that's a little annoying, but that is fair. Yeah, I'm thinking we go for it, because next turn we've got this into 4 Raptors plus a spell. And that means Merithra's going to be down to 15. Yeah, this seems pretty reasonable. I don't hate this. I think we're going to go 1 health on everything, trade with both their guys. Or even just, you know what? Let's see. Health of all other minions to 1. I could actually take 1 to the face. I'm going to do this one to the face. And we'll do that. Sweet. So in a pretty significant place here. 17 more mana for Merithra. And to be fair, you don't have to do this after you spend the 25 mana. It's just obviously the most value possible. That's actually perfect. Give me something good. Drawing 2 cards is reasonable. Wow, those are all 3 actually pretty decent. I like Photosynthesis, but I think Panther Mask might be better.
What was I thinking of again?
Yeah, I think drawing cards is better than getting random spells. And that also allows me to make one of these guys a 4 or a 5/4. So let's do this. And then instead of throwing 3 of them there, I can throw 2 of them by doing this. Excellent turn. Alright, so seems like Fire Plume was the correct play. Whew, hello Dracorex. Alright, this is 6 attack. That's 9. So I could do both of these and the hero power to take out Dracorex. 7 mana left. That does give me Merithra next turn, so I get a handful of dragons that cost 1. That's not awful. It also gives me 12 more armor. Or no, excuse me, just 6 because this won't die. Which I think is an even better reason to do this.
If I must.
Our tunnels run underfoot.
Alright, let's get that Merithra next turn, and then we'll be able to play 4 dragons, I believe, for 1 mana. Seems pretty good. I'm hoping we get something good like Dracorex or something crazy. But we've also got this activation, so this is going to be a crazy turn for sure. Trying to think about the order of this. I think this is the best thing to start with, because now we get to choose of the 7 dragons. That's a lot more information than just the 1 spell off of this. That's pretty good. Winged Aberration, also pretty good. I'm probably going to play that. Ooh, and, okay, and Twilight Mistress. Wow, we've got some serious options here. So we're definitely doing this. Wildwood Circle, not bad. That's actually pretty snazzy here. Oh, and we only get one side of it. That's unfortunate. All right, that was definitely a misplay then. And then let's do this guy just for fun. And I guess we can... There we go. Yeah, at a certain point, they're like, okay, we get it. You're going to win. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, this deck can produce some serious value. That was pretty awesome. So 1-1. Let's see what else we can do.
Hazelbark versus Hoxie.
Hostile life form detect.
Here for a lesson.
Alright, here we go. So, could be aggro Demon Hunter, kind of Unholy Rune. Could be Herald, excuse me, not Demon Hunter, Death Knight. Could be Herald, Death Knight. I think that's a little bit more likely than the aggro one, at least in my experience. There is a Blood Death Knight deck that's going around. I'm not sure how common it is, though. I'm thinking about doing this, honestly. Like, I like Elise, but I think there are better things. Yeah, we're going to see what happens here. Elise just used to be always an auto keep. But yeah, this is a lot more what I'm hoping for. Pretty much whenever I have Broodmother, I'm like, okay, I would love to have Broodwatcher and try to get the most value possible in the early stages. Oh my goodness. Okay then. I guess we just take Acceleration Aura. As much as I want Wickerfang and Amirdrassil, I think Acceleration Aura is going to ensure that we get Broodwatcher on turn 4 and 5. Yeah, it's kind of hard not to take that. That's crazy. And there are still ways to get these off of the bottom of our deck with either another Waveshaping or Nightmare Lord Xavius. Right, and Morbid Swarm means that they are very likely Herald, Demon Hunter. I keep saying Demon Hunter, Death Knight. Herald, Death Knight. Maybe it's just it's the Freudian slip. I want Herald, Demon Hunter to be good. And I actually have a new list of that to play pretty soon. So keep your eyes out for that video, because that'll be fun. Let's see. So this is going to give me 3 mana afterwards. These are 5 away, so let's get it going. Press the advantage seems sweet here. We get to take out both minions and draw a card. Alright, and let's see if they can handle back-to-back Broodwatchers here. I've never done double. I've had this on turn 4 on curve quite a few times, but I've never done the double back-to-back. That's pretty insane. It's just so much value.
Cooking up something special.
Yeah, to be expected. Alright. It's reasonable. I think it is time to swing for 14.
You'll not harm them.
We're gonna Horn of Plenty first. Let's see. Wildwood Circle, pretty sweet. the thing is, I don't think I need to back-to-back Broodwatcher. I think having this just at the ready for if they actually do anything to my team is way better. So I'm thinking I just probably play Wildwood Circle both sides of it here. Then I've got some pretty massive value. This could be 1, 2, 5 more. I can put him at 5, but I think that's a little unnecessary. So let's just do this. Yeah, this is a great example of the type of value you can create with this deck. And I think there's a good mix of this deck of, being able to get lucky. That's part of the issue with Hearthstone is sometimes, being lucky is just way better than anything you can do. But if you structure your deck and mulligan and play so that you can maximize the potential to get lucky, I think that is a pretty important factor in today's metagame. So I think this gives you a lot of potential to be lucky, as well as, if you can play around it, you're going to be in a great spot. I like the tools that this deck has. I've always been a fan of being able to ramp and get accelerated mana. What is this, 8? They're at 14. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Looks like we got them. For exact.
Simply done.
All right, 2 and 1. Let's keep it running.
Hazelbark versus Reska!
Another Death Knight. Very interesting.
I could get used to this game.
Yeah, I've been surprised at the popularity of Herald's Death Knight. I mean, it's a fine deck, but it's not amazing in my opinion. Let's see what we can do with the Broodwatcher. Okie dokie then. Alright, so we're running it back. We have double Broodwatcher again, but no Broodmother this time, so hopefully we can get lucky with some of these draws. Wow. Okay, getting a little lucky, but not having a 1-drop makes this a lot harder to play Broodwatcher on curve, because if you don't have Broodwatcher, or if you don't have a 1-drop, Broodwatcher on curve is pretty difficult. Alright, so this is, if they're playing Mermy, it is very possible this is Unholy Death Knight, which is just a really aggro deck, which makes me want to attack this.
What was I thinking of again?
I could Horn of Plenty. Generally in these positions, I like to Horn of Plenty as soon as possible, like I was saying earlier, because you can get some very good value very quickly, but I am a little concerned about the aggression here. Yeah, we're going to do this. I mean, they want corpses, because you need 5 corpses to play Grave Strength to its full potential. Okay, this is way better. Alright, so if they're playing Hematurge, then this is more likely either Herald or Blood Death Knight, which I'm much happier about. Okay. Whoo! That aggro deck is just, it is brutal and unforgiving, so you have to be able to play around the right things if you're playing against it. Let's get this guy. So 3 mana left here. So I'm not going to get this turn 4, but we've got turn 5 and 6 available. I don't mind Ebb and Flow, but because I have a hand that could be pretty aggressive, I almost want Ebb and Flow as some reach to be able to hit their face. So maybe Horn of Plenty is the call here. I could see this going either way, honestly. see, hybridization doesn't seem like it draws anything super amazing. I mean, it gets me either Elise or Nightmare Lord and Felwood. It's not great, though. I think Waveshaping is the call here. Into Wickerfang, I think, is decent. Alright. I'll take it. Now, you do have to be conscious also of your things that spread across the board. So, for example, Broodwatcher makes 3 minions total if you have it all the way ramped up. And Wickerfang makes 5 minions total with it and its 4 legs. So, can be kind of crazy.
What was I thinking of again?
So I could go Broodmother. I'll have 3 mana left. Yeah, I don't know that that's the right call. I think we're just going to Ebb and Flow this. Smack it with our hero.
Yes.
And then next turn we've got Broodwatcher, just assuming we're going to lose one of the 3/3s to this, which I think is okay. Yeah, Whelp the Infinite, pretty strong card. Even in this format, but it is a little bit slow in this format, which I find very fascinating. Because Whelp of the Infinite was not quite format defining before the rotation, but in that last format, it was something you had to play around, for sure. So very, very interesting how it dictated combat and board states. But, ooh, there's a Naralex. So I think we Broodwatcher. Oh no, you know what? If we Broodmother, then we can Broodwatcher also. We'll go 3 down to 2, plus 2 is 4, and then Broodwatcher. Seems good. Consumption is a card. Not a very amazing card, but it is a card. Seems a little overcosted at 4, but I mean, I guess if it costs 3, it would be just insanely good. There's a lot of cards like that where you're like, it feels like it should cost like a little bit less. It's a little overcosted for what this metagame is. I feel like there are some things like that that would help solve some of the issues in this metagame of decks being too aggressive. Like 3 mana consumption would make Death Knight much better. Alright, so now the question is, do we Wickerfang or Broodwatcher? I kind of want to say Broodwatcher. Because if I Broodwatcher an Acceleration Aura here, that means next turn I'll have 8 mana, and I can Naralex plus Timereaver, but I mean, how good is that actually? I really wish Wickerfang was a dragon. That would be just phenomenal. I could Wickerfang here. That's not bad per se. So each of these guys would be 1/3s, and Wickerfang itself would be a 4/9.
Yes.
And it could, even if they do end up killing it, I think that would be extracting a lot of resources from them. Yeah, I think Timereaver is just going to be great if you find the right time where you get max benefit from it, so I tend to wait until the like a time that is almost too perfect to play Wickerfang. So I'm trying to be more open to playing Wickerfang, even when it might die, just because of how much resource it would extract from my opponent. Because sometimes just getting a 3-for-1 for a card is all you need to do to sway the momentum of a game. So, you know, we get a lot of times I mean, me especially, seem to get wrapped up in this idea of like, no, but like I don't want to lose this very powerful card because maybe, you know, maybe that's the way that I win the game. And it's like, no, but if you're getting some good advantage, if you're getting 3 or even, you know, amazing situations 4 or 5 for ones, that's phenomenal. If it's a 2 for 1 for Wickerfang, I'm a little bit more hesitant. But because there's 4 appendages, I think it's pretty reasonable to drop this here. Alright, so that's the way it goes, but now we still have 3 guys that continue to get bigger, which is fantastic. And I can follow up here with Broodwatcher. Let's try the Horn of Plenty first, see if we get anything crazy. Hybridization is not bad. So I think in this position, hybridization is much better than the last game, because the last game didn't seem very necessary. This game, I feel like that would kind of push me over into the realm of much better value. And also these other choices are not as good. So we're going to do this, and I think next turn, since Horn of Plenty is a nature spell, next turn I can hybridization and it's going to get the Kindred. Yeah, let's get it. So we do this and this, and then let's do this, and I guess we'll do this. So really hoping hybridization gets me Elise. It's that or Nightmare Lord. I mean, Nightmare Lord's not bad, but Elise would be really good value, I think, here. Because so far I'm doing decently at kind of 2 for 1-ing my opponent, forcing them to use multiple resources to take out either one card or one piece of a card, like the Wickerfang. Like I've still got these guys paying dividends from the Wickerfang turn. But they are also getting closer to their Onyxia. So that could be problematic if they Onyxia, or even, you know, what is it, Memoriam, to get back on Onyxia after it has passed. They're at 33. We have 13 attack on board. Yeah, I think hybridization is the way to go here. Alright, we got Nightmare Lord, that's fine. I kind of like this card. It is pretty good as the game goes on to create even more advantage, but let's see. Nightmare Lord can get actually quite a few good things. This could get me Fyrakk or Ysera also, or even Merithra. So let's run it. Whew, Fyrakk with charge. Let's go. Okay, I think that's gonna be amazing. Let's get rid of that guy, that's annoying. And, you know, let's actually... Cool. Yeah, I was a little tempted to go for these guys too, but I don't think losing one of these guys and trading is the right thing to do here. I believe, ooh, rough. I believe Onyxia cost 9, if I'm remembering correctly. So, all right, that was pretty good. That was indeed pretty good. So next up, I think I'm just gonna Naralex plus Fyrakk. Seems like pretty good value. I mean, I could Timereaver and make these all one attack, but I don't think that's super necessary here.
on swift wings.
Yeah, I think we just run it. Let's go.
My hatred cannot be contained.
Alright, what do we got? Nice. Very excellent. Sure. Alright, annoying but fair. Let's do that, and this, and this, and this. Alright, great turn. That's fair, okay. Let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I can get him with Shaladrassil next turn, yeah. Oh wow, they're just putting themselves in lethal territory? That doesn't seem smart. Why would you... What? Alright. Well, seems like they're kind of handing me the game unless they have some life to gain or armor or something here. Alright. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty darn good for them. Okay, much better. So from here... Alright, we can go a couple different directions now. Probably going to Timereaver. But I think we see what we get off of Waveshaping first. Yeah, kind of hard not to press the advantage. So I can go like Timereaver, 1 health on everything, press the advantage to like poke that. I could attack that, but I am taking 6. That's a little rough.
Was I thinking of again?
And then obviously trading probably this here. Alright. Yeah, this has been a really crazy game. Very back and forth these last couple of turns. So let's do 1 damage there. Let's throw this one here. And might as well... Come on, animation. There we go. Let's gain an armor, and we're set. So, Shaladrassil and Amirdrassil are going to have some pretty big impact on this game right here. Otherwise, it is very easy for them to take over. Ooh, Husk is good. Okay. Yeah, they're doing a good job of making it difficult to actually finish them off. Good old Acorn. Ugh, drawing Innervate the last 2 cards is pretty rough. This kind of sucks, but I think I got a Shaladrassil. So I can trade here, and then Shaladrassil clears the whole board.
What was I thinking of again?
And yeah, I can even play some minions afterwards, so I think that's fine. It does kind of suck to take 5 to the face. I go to 7. That's not ideal. Not sure that I can justify many other plays here, though. Because they are really getting a step up on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Yeah, and sadly there's no way to corrupt that card. This, we got either 7-6 or a 2-4, so let's do, or not a 2-4, a 3-5. We'll play the 7-6. And yeah, fingers crossed. There are still some ways to come back. Like Underking could do a lot of work if we can draw that guy. And And there's the Onyxia. Okay, alright, this gets a lot harder now. Yeah, I was mentioning earlier how it's weird to me how popular Herald Death Knight is, but this is, I think, a good reason why so many people like the deck, because it does have, you know, depending on how you build it, it does have quite a few tools to be able to have a good game, and it's kind of in that, like, control realm-ish. It's kind of mid-rangey, kind of control-y. Ooh. Okay, then. That's fascinating. And they're just back to 30. And so they have Ursol with a experimental animation. This is brutal. This is a really crazy game here. My God. I'm probably going to have to dream that. But to be perfectly honest, I don't know what else we're doing here. Can we draw something? No. Alright. We're basically just dead then. There. Yeah, nothing we can really do here. That was very well played, though, on their end. That's one of those games that's definitely worth replaying and rewatching to see how it could have been played differently, because it started going a lot more back and forth after a certain point, but those early turns, it felt very much so like I had an advantage. So I wonder if there's a way I can figure out how that advantage could have been held on to for longer, but such is life. That's the way it goes. 2-2 now, one more game. Let's go.
Hazelbark versus Valera.
Alright, we've got a rogue.
Here for a lesson?
These 5 games are actually a really good set to pull from, because we've got Bubble Paladin, Dragon Warrior, Double Herald Death Knight, and now Rogue, which is very likely Herald Rogue. Could be Imbue Rogue, but I think that deck is a lot less common. And this seems like a great hand right here. Along with the coin, so I can go turn 1, press the advantage if I really want to. Oh, wow. Yeah, Broodmother would be the best possible here. We've got about, what, 2 or 3 draws to get it? Can we get lucky?
Home in the shadows.
Good old Spy Mistress. Alright. Shaladrassil, what you doing here? We don't want you yet. So if I'm going to get to 8 mana by turn 4, if I go 2 on turn 1, 2 on turn 2, turn 3 brings me to 7, I would need like an Innervate or something like that to get to 8 so that I can play this on curve. So it seems very unlikely unless I get very lucky with a Broodmother. However, I think Acceleration Aura could be a path to this. It's kind of hard to say. I'm normally not a big fan of coining out Acceleration Aura on turn 1, but I think it gives us a little bit of a better chance. Like, if we draw something like Waveshaping or... okay. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to do that.
If I must.
Alright, 4 mana left. And we will have 4 mana next turn. So, yeah, looks like we'll get there on turn 4. Do I go Elise? I think I go Elise into Broodwatcher the following turn. That seems pretty strong. I mean, I could just Elise into Terror Run. Ebb and Flow this guy. There are actually quite a few ways I could play this turn. Depends on how much tempo I want to give them.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do this. Because this still gets me there for turn 4 Broodwatcher. It also gives me Felwood Treant ready, and I think this is going to give me a better board to drop Broodwatcher on. Because if I Elise there, then like I'm taking some damage. I have to commit next turn to Terror Run or Broodwatcher. And if they have all those minions there, they can then attack back some of the Broodwatcher taunt minions, and I feel like I'm losing some of the value I'm trying to create. So if I create a position that's a little bit better to drop a Broodwatcher, that is much more ideal. I mean, obviously the 4/4 is annoying, but... and then we can go this guy into Broodwatcher. Alright, so that seems like a much better board. Interesting that they chose to play that without trying to find a way to combo. Alright, so Elise into Terror Run seems fantastic.
What was I thinking of again?
Horn of Plenty could be okay, but I think the longer I hold off on Elise, the worse it gets. No, you know what? If I Elise and go for Fire Plume, then that would actually corrupt Shaladrassil. Yeah, let's do a Horn of Plenty first. Let's see what we get off of this. Alright, Ward of Earth is not bad. I actually like that. What did we get? Oh, wow. I actually think this card is very reasonable. I've been wanting to test this guy out in, like, some kind of rogue deck, possibly just a Herald deck. But it seems like taking 2 cards from your opponent's hands for at least 2 turns is going to be pretty powerful. Okay. Well, they've got the double Battlecry trigger, so now, oh my god, Deathwing costs, oh boy, 8 less. Deathwing's going to cost them 2? Oh no, excuse me. It says 2 here and then 4 here. So maybe it's 2 and 3, so probably 5 less? Oh boy. This could be interesting. So I've got 11 attack. Could put them at 11. Cool, and that puts King Langan on the bottom of my deck, which is awesome. Let's see, what do we get off of this? Spy Mistress, very interesting, and a Twilight. So I am a little bit concerned about the potential for Deathwing this turn, so I was tempted to go like these 2 guys here so that they don't have a board, or a reasonable board at least. Ah, of course they have it. It seemed like getting them to a lower life total was an okay choice, but yeah, maybe it was correct to throw some guys over here, get rid of this, and I guess I could always throw this here, so then all they have is a 1/1 and their weapon, and so if they clear my board, it's not the worst thing. So, is what it is, I guess. So I'm taking 9, 10, maybe 15 here, so a little rough. Okay, 18 here. Goodness. Oh, they chose that over hero power. Fascinating. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do this. Sure. So not a great position. This Deathwing was pretty awesome for them. And looks like it cost them 5 less last turn. That was pretty good. So that might be enough to sway the game here. I'm thinking that, yeah, I should have gone with my gut and attacked the Altraxion that turn instead of their face, because that would have made sure that even if they did have Deathing, which they did, that I wouldn't have taken such a swing in life total. So yeah, I guess I should have followed Murphy's Law, right? Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, so plan accordingly. Something like that. Whew. Okay, then. Interesting that they're attacking my minions there. And doesn't that mean their guy's gonna... Yeah, that guy's gonna die at the end of... What? That did not seem like the right call there. I'm confused. Okay, then. Alright, so we're definitely gonna Elise. Alright, we got some armor. Ah, yeah, Weasel Tunneler.
I remember this place well.
We're gonna go Fire Plume. And 12 armor is great. I would prefer the discovering a spell, but I think because we are low on our life total, and they can do 5 a turn with their hero power, that you've got to at least be conscious of that. Sure.
Is there trouble?
It's very interesting that they're not using their hero power. I feel like this game would have been over probably this or last turn had they been using their hero power every turn. Like the turn they played Deathwing, they could have used their hero power, but they chose to Rite of Twilight instead. So had they just been using their hero power every turn, the last 3 turns, pretty sure they would have got me. So that seems like a misplay.
Go forth.
But then again, from this position, it's a lot easier to see what will beat you rather than what will beat your opponent, because I know what's in my hand, you know, and all that. So very interesting. A little tempted to play Fyrakk here. I think Fire Plume is... Yeah, I get the armor, but then, you know, the four raptors aren't going to be able to take this guy out. Fyrakk at least gives me a chance to take this guy out, I think. Fire Plume does ensure that I live, though. Because this is 13, 18 with this. This would put me at 22, so even if they do use their hero power, I'm alive. I think I have to Fire Plume. That's unfortunate. Yeah, as much as I want to Fyrakk, I think I need to take the safe route. guess. Sure. This game is still attainable, but if they get their act together and start using their hero power, I think it's going to be over pretty fast. But let's see. I'm not a fan of this card. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but Agent of the Old Ones just does not seem good to me. I'm amazed it sees so much play.
I will transcend this world.
Seems pretty good. Alright, so now we can Shaladrassil. We're going to get, let's see, I can deal 5 to all minions. Or no, all enemies, excuse me. And then my heroes, I can shuffle a minion into its owner's deck, so I can shuffle away the Naralex. So I can clear the board, and I will have 1 mana left. So I think we'll do this after I do that, because that'll give me an additional 3 mana. This is perfect. Okay. Alright, I think this... Alright, we could get this done. Shuffle that away. 5 to all enemies. Gonna burn a card here, but I think it's okay for the sake of what we're doing. Boom, boom, okay. And... yeah, let's do that. And does that... yeah, Merithra is ready now, so gotta empty my hand a little bit, unfortunately. But there are worse problems to have. Alright, looks like we are burning a card again.
My brood will inherit this world.
Rutrow. See, I was thinking about potentially playing this guy. Your hero's elusive, so then at least, you know, if they were playing things targeting my face, then I wouldn't have to worry. And plus, since it's elusive, they wouldn't be able to do things like Dream. But what are you going to do? As long as I survive this turn, though, I will get 12 armor and 4 raptors, as well as, I don't know, maybe I Fyrakk. How do I want to play this next turn? Underking doesn't seem bad, especially if it's trading with something, because that would be another 12 armor. At the very least, we'll get 6. Jeez. Okay, totally fine burning Innervate. So. Yeah, it kind of sucks they're going to gain all of this life here, but that seems like the way it's got to be. Underking, I think I have to throw at this. No, you know what, actually? We're going to do this. And then I can throw 1 here, Underking at this, trade, these 3 at this. Yeah, that seems better. 7, that leaves me 5 mana left. I can also ebb something else, press the advantage if necessary. 5, Waveshaping. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's get this going. We do this, that means they're going to draw their highest cost card, but at least they already have Sinestra. Let's do the press the advantage there. Let's do the ebb and flow here. Might as well do that. And yeah, I think we're gonna sit on the Waveshaping. Ooh, alright. That was a nice card to burn. Let's see, so they already have Deathwing. They already played Sinestra. What else? They already played Shaladrassil. Oh. What else could they have gotten off of Talon? Highest cost minion. Oh, you know what? It might be Garona. That actually might be it. Okay, so I should probably play around them having that. I guess them having that is not that bad, because cutting my life in half only makes the 10 go to 5, and I've still got 35 armor, so I think I'm okay with that. Alright, so this guy is a problem, though, so probably need to deal with that. How do I do so? Nothing in my deck is gonna, I think, do much good, though. This is 5, 7... I kind of want a Fyrakk, but I feel like that's playing with fire, pun intended. Merithra could give me some good things here also. This is such a rough spot here. All right, let's do this. Then Merithra. So we're gonna get 3 1-cost dragons. Alright, it's something. We got a board. It is very possible we can fight our way through this. Alright, there's Naralex. That might actually be what they got. Oh, Twilight Mistress. Alright, that's definitely what they drew off of Talon. Totally forgot about Twilight Mistress. Alright, so we're going to take 16... plus the 8 is 26. Whoo! Fun times. Alright, seems like Fyrakk is just the Hail Mary that we need now. Crazy turn. They finally used their hero power. So many turns too late. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Waveshaping doesn't do anything reasonable here. Alright. Hail Mary.
My hatred cannot be contained.
Nope. Helpful, but probably not good enough. Ooh. Man. Alright, looks like we're probably still dead. Oh, no, actually. If I do this, then that means this dies when they attack. And then I can go like this.
Feed my children.
And I guess we'll just get 1 armor? I'm definitely not attacking that thing, that's for sure. Alright, so having an Eternal Firebolt gives me something. Oopsie! Sorry, buddy. They thought they had me right there. But that's where it is. Alright, good stuff.
Impressively done.
Isn't it funny? I talk about their hero power being what would have won them the game many turns ago, and then when they start using their hero power is when they win. Alright, so after 5 games, 2 and 3, this Merithra deck, definitely worth playing. I definitely recommend it. I think it's a little matchup dependent, and I think it's very skill dependent also. I will be perfectly honest. I would venture to say that I might not be piloting this deck optimally. I think that a big thing with decks like this is understanding the metagame and knowing your matchups very well. So if you know the metagame even better and you're very, very tapped into it, then you may be able to do very well with this deck. I've seen some very high-level Legend players playing this deck and doing very well. Same thing with like Demon Hunter or Warrior. But I think this deck is has a lot of tools, tons of value and card advantage, mana advantage, just a ton of stuff that makes it very worth playing. So definitely check out the other videos on the channel. If you are already following, big thank you. I appreciate you guys. I have been trying to play as many decks as possible lately, trying to find something that will give you an edge against Bubble Paladin. As we saw in the first game of this video, Bubble Paladin is a tough matchup for just about everybody, no matter what you're playing. But I'm going to keep trying to find, you know, new decks and interesting decks to play in the metagame. I think there's a lot more to this metagame than we see so far, so keep your eye out, and peace and love, guys.